What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Mighty Max, and today we're back to the rise of the Bronx drill. OGs versus YGs versus Southside. I don't know shit about the Bronx or the gangs. I don't know about any gangs, to be honest. So we're finna learn. Uh, the only niggas that's from the drill Bronx drill scene that I know is K Flock, B Love, and DTHANG. Only one. So we're finna learn today about more of them. If you're new, drop a like, subscribe.
Police believe the victim,
Roll to 1K.
13-year-old Jerian Elliott, was not an innocent bystander and could have been targeted. The shooting happened this afternoon on East 187th Street in the Bronx. Elliott was shot several times in the chest.
Surveillance shows Jerian Elliott in red pants, shot zing through the air. Within seconds, he scrambles inside a restaurant. A crowd surrounds him. Police say he got shot in the ankle and chest.
Another weekend of deadly gun violence in New York City. 4 teenagers were shot in separate incidents. 3 of them died.
Damn.
Around 11:30 Sunday night by the corner of East 178th Street and Webster Avenue in the Bronx, police say 2 men pulled scooters up next to a cab Medrano was taking to a recording studio. They then shot him in his head and chest, killing him.
Eye-opening gun violence here in the Bronx.
Is this recent? This happened this year? Or is it old? This old? Anything mentioned in the story has been proved in court of law, subject to speculation, and should be treated as such. Yeah. I'm not cop, bro. I seen I don't want to post it too much, but I seen some shit about they found FBG Duck's killers, and the cops said they used YouTube videos like these to find who the killer was. So they're gonna use this shit in court.
Alright, so what's up, everybody? We gotta talk about the Bronx drill scene that's been blowing up recently. Over the last few years, Brooklyn has had all the attention in the drill rap scene, but in 2021, it seems that the Bronx is taking that title.
The
An
Bronx
artist
carrying
like
New York.
Flock has the torch for the Bronx right now after he just inked a record deal, which is rumored to have been worth over $1 million, and he remixed his hottest song, Being Honest, with a feature from G Herbo. Ironically, that song, Being Honest, was actually made as a response to a challenge started by a Brooklyn rapper named Siggy Black over the beat he used for his song Dishonest. Similar to how Brooklyn introduced the US to UK beats, the Bronx is bringing their own twist by using sampled beats with a New York UK twist to them. In fact, just over a week ago at the time of this recording, DTHANG, one of K Flock's rivals and his blood cousin, dropped a song in Who I Smoke fashion called Talk Facts, which he samples the 2011 hit Need Your Love, in which he disses almost every dead op and every other hood in the Bronx. A YouTuber by the name of We Drill Crazy dropped a video in which he breaks down the lyrics and showcases each name drop.
I'm watching that. React to that.
I'll link his video below so you can check it out. The Bronx has always been known as one of the wildest boroughs in the city. Charlemagne the God always says the craziest people come from the Bronx and all of Florida.
That's a fact.
For the most part, is true.
Yeah, it
The
is.
Bronx is no stranger to gangs, drugs, and violence. During the Prohibition era, the Bronx was home base for several mafia members, including Dutch Schultz, who is rumored to have buried over $150 million worth of diamonds, gold, and cash somewhere in the borough before he was gunned down in 1935, but the treasure has never been found. It was a hub for organized crime up until the late 90s when there was a large migration of...
Nigga, what is this? The hood One Piece? Like, nigga, if there's treasure in the Bronx, now we're going to the Bronx to find that shit. I don't finna be the king of the Bronx. Bogan, nigga.
Latinos, which caused a lot of the European settlers to move elsewhere. In the 70s and 80s, East 187th Street, now known as Sevside, which is K Flock's hood, was primarily controlled by the Italian mafia. In the 90s, when the blacks and Hispanics started to move in, it pushed a lot of the mobsters out east into Morris Park. By the early 2000s, Sevside was primarily ran by a blood set called the East Homicide Brims. After a ton of internal and external beefs over the span of a decade, 700 DOA was birthed. Sevside is now made up of mainly Mac Balla Brims, Sex Money Murda, and they're clicked up with the Rollin' 80s Crips from East 180th Street, also known as Rayway. If you head 3 miles south from the Sev, you'll end up on Cortlandt Ave, which is OG's territory. Cortlandt Ave in the South Bronx is a hood made up of 3 projects: the Melrose Houses, Jackson Houses, and Morrisania Air Rights, also known as Vietnam. Cortlandt Ave has always been a wild hood. Since the 80s, drugs, gangs, and violence have been a prominent issue. In 2003, a new gang in the Bronx was formed called the Young Gunners. The OGs and the YGs were initially one gang in the beginning. The YG started in 2 projects, the Mott Haven Houses and the Patterson Houses. When it was created, its other main hoods were Cortlandt, Highbridge, River Park Towers, or RPT, which is where DTHANG is from, and Jackson Ave. Cortlandt was called the Young Gunners from Cortlandt, or YGFC. At some point, the YG's leader, Juther Juhef Perez, crossed one of the leaders from Cortlandt, so YGFC left the YGs and changed their name to OGFC, which they later shortened to GFC, or God's Favorite Children, or just the OGs, original goons. When they left, the YGs started to beef with a lot of other hoods.
So what does YG mean?
Cortlandt had a lot of internal and external conflicts over the years, including a RICO sweep in 2009 called Operation Rotten Apple.
Young Gangsters, probably? Yeah, probably Young
gang
Gangsters.
members.
Let me know in the comments below what YG means.
Ops are still the YGs. As of right now, Cortland is clicked up with Highbridge and the Sugar Hill OYs. Some notable rappers coming from the OG side are Shaw EK, B Love, and CJ Goon. The YGs on the other hand are beefing with almost every other set in the borough and are one of the most hated gangs in the whole city. These three sets have been at each other's necks for a long time now, but things really started to boil over in July of this year, which led to 3 teens losing their lives in the same week. On Thursday, July 7th, 2021, at around 11:35 p.m.
I never understood why niggas would want to join a gang that's hated by a lot of other gangs. That's not just one. Because, like, nigga, you know how many ops you're gonna have, bro? You have a lot of fucking ops. Like, a lot. I'd rather just have one op than have 10.
Was gunned down in
like,
front
come on,
of
bro.
his apartment building on East 182nd Street in the Bronx. The 19-year-old had been shot in the head in the lobby of his Bronx apartment building when he ran outside before he collapsed. A family member said that her 2 children found Ty Swisher's unconscious body sprawled out on the ground with a single bullet wound in his eye.
That gotta be traumatizing.
His hospital, where he unfortunately succumbed to his injuries. A witness described the shooter saying he fled in a dark-colored 4-door sedan, but no other information has been discovered. Ty was described as a good kid by his family and neighbors, but he was a gang member pushing sex money murder, and he was unfortunately caught lacking. It would only take 4 days for his side to get their get back, though.
Police believe the victim, 13-year-old Jerian Elliott,
13?
was not an innocent bystander and could have been targeted.
Damn.
Surveillance shows Jerian Elliott in red pants. Shots zing through the air. Within seconds, he scrambles inside a restaurant. A crowd surrounds him. Police say he got shot in the ankle and chest.
On Sunday, July 11th, 2021, at around 3 p.m., Jerian Elliott, also known as J-Rip, a 13-year-old member of the Rollin' 80s Crips, was walking down East 187th Street with a friend. Surveillance footage would capture the 2 boys walking in front of Angel's Cafe when J-Rip's friend would take off running. A black sedan had come to a stop in front of the cafe, and a man got out and opened fire on the teens. He was seen crawling into the cafe and was brought to the hospital shortly after, but unfortunately he didn't make it. At only 13, he had already been arrested 8 times, and investigators say he was at the scene of the crime when 19-year-old Ty Swish was killed, although it isn't believed he was the shooter. At the end of September, a 16-year-old that goes by the name Dolo G's was picked up as J-Rip's alleged killer, but there isn't much public information surrounding this because he's still a juvenile. Less than 8 hours after J-Rip was killed, another teen would meet a tragic end in a retaliation hit.
Around 11:30 Sunday night by the corner of East 178th Street and Webster Avenue in the
Shit's
Bronx,
sad, bro.
police say 2 men pulled scooters up next to a cab Medrano was taking to a recording studio. They then shot him in his head and chest, killing him.
16-year-old Ramon Gil Medrano, a rapper that went by the name Raw G's and had ties to the 800 YGs, got into an Uber on his way to hang out with a friend. Shortly after he was picked up, 2 men on a scooter pulled up alongside the car and opened fire, hitting Raw G's in the head 3 times before speeding off. The tragic video went viral on social media as the Uber driver's dash cam captured the entire incident. The driver can be seen flinching as the shots go off, and he seemingly utters the words, "Night, night, young man," as he looks back at the boy's lifeless body. Investigators believe that Raw G's was also at the scene of J-Rip's murder, and he was targeted because he quickly took to social media to mock J-Rip just hours before he himself lost his life. A year prior to his passing, Raw G's had survived a shooting that had almost taken his life. He was in the hospital in critical condition for several days, but finally pulled through. His mother said that the shooting caused him to be more cautious and walk the straight and narrow, but in the 3 months before his passing, he'd been arrested 3 times and had an active warrant for a carjacking. A 15-
Okay, bro. It's like Lil Durk said in that song. It's like, when niggas die, their parents or their family act like they're like the... He ain't say exactly like that. But what he was trying to say in one of his songs was like, when niggas die, niggas act like they was like angels and shit when they really wasn't. Feel me?
And 16-year-old were identified.
Also, his mom's gonna say he stopped doing the shit when he's still doing it.
But again, there isn't much public information because of their age. In August of 2021, K Flock dropped a song called "Is You Ready?" In the opening verse, he says, referencing one of the greatest movies ever made, Paid in Full. This was a subliminal diss towards his cousin D-Thang, because if you remember in the movie, Ice was Sonny's uncle who had set him up to get kidnapped and killed. D-Thang and K-Flock had always been good, even though they were from rival gangs, but the diss caused a rip that led to D-Thang taking to Instagram Live to send an eerie subliminal where he says,
"He ain't related to me like Ice did to Sonny." Can't wait to see Auntie now.
The beef took the life of another teen on September 30th. 16-year-old Nasiah Sanchez, also known as Nasrolla, a Rollin' 80s Crip and one of K-Flock's affiliates, was shot and killed after 2 men
Damn, they had a kid, bro.
the cord and shot him in the head and chest in broad daylight on East 187th Street near Prospect Avenue. Nasrolla had been arrested 18 times, most recently on September 5th for felony gun possession. All of these events are truly mind-blowing when you realize that these kids are all just teens. Most
Mad
of them
young,
go to
bro.
the same high school, so you can find videos all over the internet of them fighting in school and actually going live to diss their ops in class. It makes it more disturbing that with the rise of social media, many of these killings are broadcasted on the internet for everyone to see. Some of the rappers are actually really talented and they make good music, but they literally commit crimes and then admit to them in their songs. If you ever want to get caught up on what's going on in the Bronx streets, just listen to the latest drill song and you can hear all about it. It's only a matter of time before things escalate and we see these hoods going down for RICO cases, and that's if they can even stay alive long enough to make it to 18 to even get arrested. They're literally gambling with their lives daily. People like K-Flock, DTHANG, and the other talented artists need to realize that they have a lot of eyes on them right now and need to get out of the hood ASAP because they have a golden opportunity in front of them. We'll just have to wait and see how this one plays out. Let me know what you guys want to see in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next
So thing, bro. If D-Thing and B-Love and K-Flock get out the hood, niggas not finna watch them how they used to. Like, the song's not gonna hit the same, you feel me? So it's like niggas not finna watch them how we usually watch them. So them getting out the hood not really not gonna fix nothing. So what they need to do is, bro, just like rap through the storm, bro. Feel me? Rap through the storm till you get big enough. Till you get out the hood like Chief Keef did. But you gotta get bigger though. Like they're not big enough for that. If you're a new man, drop a like, subscribe, man. This shit actually kind of sad, bro. What the fuck? I'm definitely not going to the Bronx after this shit. The fuck? It's your boy, Max, and I'm out. Bro, someone can remember that.